I'd tried everything to escape the bottle. Rehab, AA, begging my family for another chance. But nothing worked until I hit a place so dark, the only way out was up. That's when I discovered a power greater than addiction, and it changed my life forever. If you've ever felt lost, alone, or stuck in a battle you couldn't win, you're not alone. Make sure to hit subscribe, like this video, and share your story in the comments. Because today, you'll see that no one is too far from hope. Let's get into it. On the outside, I was just another guy. But for the last 8 years, I'd been fighting a war inside myself that no one could see. Alcohol wasn't just a problem. It was my escape, my routine, my prison. I drank to silence the shame, the anger, and the constant feeling that I'd never measure up. I tried to quit, time after time, but somehow, every road I took ended with a drink in my hand and regret in my heart. AA meetings, I went. They helped. But deep down, it never felt like enough. There was this emptiness. I'd listen to the stories, read the steps, but when the meeting ended and I went home, the silence was louder than ever. My family, people I loved, began to disappear from my life, tired of watching me destroy myself. I was a disappointment. Worse, I started to believe that I deserved it. The harder I tried to climb out, the deeper I sank. 2 months ago, it all fell apart for the last time. I relapsed hard, so hard that it landed me in a crisis center. The kind of place you go when you've run out of options, and even your own mind feels like a dangerous neighborhood. I remember the fluorescent lights, the cold linoleum floors, and a feeling so heavy in my chest that I could barely breathe. I was surrounded by strangers, but more alone than ever. My family stopped answering my calls. I'd finally burned every bridge, and I knew it. Every morning, I woke up wishing I hadn't. I stared in the mirror, seeing a face I barely recognized, eyes hollowed out by guilt and poison. The workers at the crisis center were kind, but I saw in their eyes what I felt in my soul. This man is hopeless. That's when Daniel walked in. Daniel was a worker at the center, but he was different. He didn't look at me with pity or judgment. He looked right through my mess, my shakes, my broken spirit, and I could see genuine kindness in his eyes. The way he listened, it made me feel like maybe I wasn't invisible after all. He shared that he'd once been where I was. He'd lost everything to addiction, but now he'd been sober for 5 years. I remember asking him, "How did you do it? What made it stick?" Daniel told me about a place, a working mission, a kind of Christian recovery home. He said, "It's like Bible boot camp. You work for your keep, serve the church, and you go deep with God. It saved my life." A Bible boot camp. My brain was screaming, "No way, that's not for you." But my heart was crying out, "Anything, I'll try anything." With tears in my eyes, I begged him to help me get there. Daniel made some calls. He told me it might take a few days to get a bed, so I waited, lost in the sterile, echoing halls of the crisis center, clinging to the only thing I hadn't tried yet. I prayed. For the first time in my adult life, I actually prayed. I didn't have fancy words. I just said, "God, if you're real, if you're there, please help me. Show me the way out." In those silent nights, I realized that sometimes life has to get so bad so completely broken that the only thing left to do is open your heart. Finally, I got the call. There was a spot for me at the mission. I packed what little I had, trembling with fear and hope. The place was nothing like what I'd known before. From the first moment, I felt out of place. Church twice a day, every day. Bible study filling the hours in between. Hard work, real work, that made my body ache and my pride take a back seat. At first, I was resistant. I thought, this is crazy. I don't belong here. But something shifted. For the first time in my life, I stopped fighting for control. I let go. I listened. I studied, not just the Bible, but books from people with PhDs in the New Testament, digging deep into questions I'd always run from. And somewhere in the middle of all that, my relationship with Christ started to grow. It wasn't just about believing stories or checking boxes. It was real, raw, sometimes confusing, sometimes miraculous. I saw things happen that couldn't be explained. I felt a presence in that place that was bigger than addiction, bigger than all my failure and shame. I began to understand that God wasn't waiting for me to clean myself up. He'd been waiting for me to surrender. As the days passed, something began to heal inside me. Instead of waking up dreading another day, I woke up with hope. Instead of craving the numbness of alcohol, I started craving truth. My hands stopped shaking, my thoughts grew clearer, and slowly, the desire to drink lost its power over me. One afternoon, I realized I wasn't alone. God had never abandoned me, not even in my darkest moments. He'd given me 1,000 chances, no, 1,000,000. And He was giving me another one right now. But life on the outside doesn't pause while you find yourself. After a few weeks, I knew I had to go home. My wife was struggling, doing everything on her own. But something was different this time. She saw it. My family saw it. They looked at me with tears in their eyes. Not tears of disappointment, but of hope. They saw a new man, not perfect, but transformed. I knew I couldn't go back to the way things were. The first thing I did was find a local church. I made a promise. Every Sunday, I would be there. And if I couldn't be there in person, I'd watch online. I dove into this new community, this new life. I was still learning, still stumbling, but this time, I was moving forward, not backward. Last week, I got baptized. Standing in that water, I felt all the weight of the past 8 years, the pain, the failures, the endless nights lost to addiction being washed away. For the first time in years, I felt proud of myself. But the real miracle? My whole family was there. They cried, not because of what I'd done, but because of who I'd become. It's hard to put into words what that moment meant. For so long, I believed I was too far gone, too broken for grace. But as I came up out of the water, I felt love, real, unconditional love, wash over me. God's grace is real. His love is real. And His forgiveness can reach into any pit, no matter how deep. Today, I'm still learning. I still have struggles, still face temptation, but now I face it with faith. I thank God every single day for this second chance. I know now that the only reason I'm here, the only reason I survived my own self-destruction, is because of His grace, His love, and His forgiveness. My relationships are healing. My family looks at me with hope. And I have a purpose that's bigger than just surviving. I want to help others see that there's a way out too. If you're listening and you're stuck in a rut, feeling like it's over, believe me, it's not. If God can reach me at my lowest, He can reach you too. Maybe you're watching this and you feel hopeless. Maybe you think you've gone too far, that nobody could ever forgive you. But God's love doesn't have limits. If He could change my story, He can change yours too. If this testimony spoke to you, hit like, share it with someone who needs hope, and let us know your story in the comments. If you need prayer, drop a comment below. We're here for you. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of grace, healing, and second chances. God bless you. Remember, with God, it's never too late.